This episode is brought to you by Fuli Gemstones.
I think I'm a monkey. I think somewhere I sort of look like a linguistic or something, but it's more about that I know how to go to one branch and then sort of cracking, I go to another one, but I always stay in my tree.
Oh, I see. So you're very busy, but you're in your own Lamy world, your Lamy land.
Yeah.
I'm Carol Woolton, the voice of jewellery. Welcome to If Jewels Could Talk. I'm an author and broadcaster, and the woman who initiated the role of jewellery editor at magazines like Tatler and Vogue. This is a podcast for everyone, for people who do like jewellery, for people who don't realise they like jewellery, and anyone intrigued by fascinating facts, new ideas and forgotten histories. So join me as I tell sparkly tales and meet all sorts of people, delving into 4 centuries of jewellery culture and investigate what's happening now. I am here in Paris with Michèle Lamy. Now, actually, she's one of the most difficult people to describe that I've actually ever had on the podcast.
Oh, why?
Because you've done so much and so many diverse things. I mean, artist, entrepreneur, producer, collaborator, performer. You co-founded a nightclub in Los Angeles where you met your husband, business partner, co-conspirator.
No, it's not there. You know,
Owens,
that's
everybody.
I had a clothing company.
Okay.
Before qu'il y avait des artistes les deux cafés, and I hired Owens as a pattern maker.
You hired him? I didn't know that. Okay.
That's the story. But
so you gave Rick Owens his break?
Yeah. But, you know, it was not his break. It was his a little puppy coming out of the woods.
How old was he then?
25.
25. Yes. So that's where you've met. You now have this fashion empire together, Owens Corp. And along the way, you have worked with so many creative artists, either performing, creating, designing. And of course, quite rightly, you design jewellery as well with Laurie Rodkin.
Yeah. The thing is, I always wear something I never call jewellery. Because for me, they are accessories of the body. But that starts way before, because it starts from the family.
Your family?
Yeah.
Growing up?
My grandfather, and you know, it was all that story that happened in the Jura of France, where people were having woods and starting doing things in woods, and then starting and doing and they were doing things in galalite.
Which is sort of like Bakelite, isn't it? A sort of plastic.
Galalite was before. Galalite is from milk.
From milk, byproducts of milk.
Yeah.
Yes.
You take yogurt and you make it strong, and that was looking like ivory.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I'm coming. And my grandfather did a lot of accessories for Poiret, and it was something thriving in the Jura at the time. That turned into like bigger industry. They were doing frames, sunglasses, and some were doing bucket, and some were doing chair. They are still doing, even if the company was sold. And right now, I don't have my old bracelet I wear all the time, but it started from there. And Laurie had her life of her own with jewelry, but we met in LA, and that's why after say I know her for all those years, we have to do something together. But to me, accessories, things is always there. We're always there for this side, and also finding when the first time I went to North Africa, and knowing before that I had sort of genes coming from there, even if it's from Jura, I thought those women were so beautiful, and then, you know, in Africa you wear all the jewelry on yourself because you never know where you need to go.
Yes, and you never take it off.
And you never take it off.
And so you've always worn quite a lot of what you call accessories for the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of always veer away from the word accessory because it makes people think of a sort of fashion accessory, which I never think is as important.
I know, this is something also about jewelry, but you would think jewelry is like, so much like Cartier. That's why I say accessories of the body, but I'm very happy to call it jewelry.
So, I mean, Michèle is sitting in front of me and my eyes aren't quite sure where to look because on her fingers are so many rings. Some of them sparkling, some of them got diamond set, her earrings. Can you just tell me what you've got on today? How many rings have you got on?
So I always had rings at all my finger. At the time they were perhaps smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9, but it looks small because these are your Hunrod designs, aren't they?
Yeah, they are all, and the thing is, the concept that we developed that with Laurie is that that could be one ring. We have a base and we add something to it. Or we open it in 2 parts, or mix the part and...
So it looks like a sort of ton of rings going up to the knuckle, but in fact it's one big one.
Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes there is 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the ears, only 2 earrings in today.
Yeah, because I had a big one here, but I lost it, I don't know where. This has been a titanium piece from piercing that forever my ears are all fucked up from wearing something that were too heavy at the time, and I always think I'm going to do something clever with it, putting, sewing in gold or something. But what I have the most is the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth, the all glinting.
That's why gold. I say, how would you call jewelry in the teeth?
Yes.
No.
Are they all gold across each tooth? Mostly.
There is gold everywhere. There is more gold you cannot see. I started this story when it was the time of the mercury in your filling, and you have to change it, and I found this dentist in LA, in Pasadena, who was like, with a garden, he had a big ponytail, and he was testing your knuckles also with some kind of machine to know which teeth had something. I mean, it was super medical, but super... at the same time making fantastic things in the back of your mouth, at which point I thought, I spent all this money, I have all this, there is nothing to show. I had really good teeth in the front, and I was not needed anything, so I started with one. Yes. But anyway, I wanted the thing real, so I started with one tooth in the front.
So that it's gold enamel. It looks, like enamel on your teeth, but instead of that you have gold.
Exactly. And, it's, to have it's like the tooth underneath are cutting as a point.
Right.
It's just
and you cover it with gold.
And you cover it with gold. But it's all my teeth. And then we moved to Paris, and then I found dentists who have never seen this and were very excited to continue. And sometimes I put different things in my teeth. But somewhere here I have a rock crystal.
I love rock crystal.
We were doing things with rock crystal, and then so I took a little piece and I put in my tooth.
So if anyone was having dinner with you, when you might say to people, you've got a little bit of spinach in your teeth. With you, it might be an emerald.
No, I put a ruby, not an emerald. Perhaps one day I will have an emerald.
You need an emerald, I think.
And then, looking at all those pictures of Egyptian mummy, I like the thing that they were doing, where they found on the mummy this gold thread that is here, but this is just for the look. There's no, I could take it off if I wanted to. There is no purpose to hold my teeth together. Mm. They are just there.
But you can't take yours out.
I cannot take my teeth out. I'm just talking about this little thread here.
Oh, that little thread across. I see.
Yeah, like the mummy had.
Yes, I
when
see.
we found the Egyptian thing. But this is just the only thing that is like. Mm-hmm.
So when did you do your first gold tooth? How long ago?
40 years ago.
Wow. It's actually very brave to do that.
I don't think it's brave. There is one thing on the look that I always like, even before I leave. I think I was before the rapper phase. I was more with the gypsy, that where Europe and had those teeth. I always found that it was something exciting.
The sort of Romani community.
Yeah, when I was even, little girl. So this is something I always like. And then by the time we had to take mercury out of our teeth, that was the reason. And I found this dentist was only doing gold, and he had an alembic, and he was testing with, there is always a mix in the gold, and which one the good one for you. That was very voodoo type at the same time. But very exciting.
Why I say it's brave, it is a brave move to try and look so different to how other people are looking at that time. I always think it shows a huge commitment to your aesthetic.
But perhaps in the lady there is too much of redone white teeth, whatever, but
so
I'm really not for it. Yeah. So, it's always amusing to work on your body, except I don't do facelift, I'm doing teeth.
Well, it's actually it's quite heavy, probably, so it's probably quite good for your muscles, keeps your muscles in your face in training.
You think
Maybe,
so?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, because you look very good. And your tattoos, do you feel that's part of your jewellery look, your accessories look?
Yeah, I do because first when I got some tattoos that are underneath when I have the ink, I always have tattoo, something I can look at. But this is all about also all that aesthetic that I made when I was 18, the tribe being on the whole and the way sort of I look like.
Makes your jewellery stand out as well against the black.
Yeah, they are a lot better.
And with Owens Corp, you oversee all the furniture, don't you? And I wondered when you work with artisans creating furniture, how similar that is to creating jewellery and whether you look at it as an exercise in sculpting.
So it's two different things to me. There is the fact that we moved in and there was nothing here, and usually we make furniture for the house, and I like to work with artisans, and I organize this for him, and it's because some galleries went to our parties or dinner and say that make a collection, and then from that it was not really mood, but I was completely in this mood, and we have been continuing, and I'm producing and going all over and organizing shows and with the furniture. So it seemed that our galleries for the furniture, like the jewelry too, they are coming at different time, and especially that Unhod, in fact, all the production is with Laurie, because I started to do the pieces, some little artisan in Paris, and then I know she had those ateliers and she has a good eye, and I know she was looking at my first piece thinking, this is something interesting, like close to her, but just a little off.
What was your first piece?
It looked like this one without the dragon.
Thick bands of silver and gold.
Yeah, it was sort of the opposite of...
Quite rough looking. Rough.
Oh yeah, whatever. And I thought it was super chic not to do it in gold, but in bronze. And we do a lot of bronze furniture, but no, bronze and silver. Now we are doing collection with gold also.
So you like to work with artisans, be they jewelers or furniture makers, to have the idea and the design and then let them manufacture and create?
No, I stay there.
You stay there,
For furniture, that's why, I start creating atelier, finding people in Paris, but I'm completely hands-on for the way we do the piece and being there. And
but so you like to be involved in the whole process?
I am. This is the thing.
You like the creative side.
Yeah. And you get your ideas there, you find the right material, you find it, yeah.
Apart from the Berbers, were there any other artistic movements in the world of jewellery that you look at and get inspiration from? I mean, sort of the Art Nouveau or Deco, or you admire?
There is a lot of things I admire, but usually with the jewelry, is go way back. You go the Egyptian, you go the Greek. I'm not too attracted to the Indian American jewelry because of the turquoise, that I hate the color. But at the same time, I like these things that come very primitive. Art Nouveau that I love for a lot of things, but not in jewelry. Art Deco, I love it. And I've been attracted so much, like I wanted to buy some piece. And then when I try them, they don't work. But there is everywhere like pieces that are masterpiece, you know what it is. But I like things that are more rough. I think sometimes it's too delicate.
You like it to look that you can almost see the hand that made it. You know, it looks like it's come from a workshop.
Yeah, I could see that there is a fabulous diamond, and just that they put those little hooks on it make me cringe. But Art Deco was the closest to what we were moving in. Yeah, you know, because they were inside the metal. It was not the thing to put the money and say, look, I have a big thing showing over there. You don't think they belong to your body, but when you have something like this, you think they belong to your body. That's why I was studying accessories instead of jewelry.
And do you like it to be part of a story, do you think? Do you like that aspect where it is saying something? Because you've done some zodiac signs, haven't you?
I like that story of tribes. Because you see, there is a lot of artists that have been doing jewelry, and even if it's artists that like a lot or that are famous artists, I always think the jewelry is disconnect from a story somewhere, or you cannot make it yours. So, you know, between the thing you like or the thing you want to have, I mean, if there was something that I like so much, I mean, I was not going to try to do some. It was already all made, you know.
Yes, you have to find a new style, a new thing that's unique. And that's very hard. When you think the places that we wear jewelry, apart from you and doing your teeth, are really the same as since the Egyptian time. So it's hard to find something new, isn't it?
But you never go in this direction of thinking. You said I go in this direction, but at the same time, you make it yours. So otherwise, you know, it's not I had to do that. So then it's just when I felt it was that.
What do you like working with? You like bronze?
Bronze, now I'm going with the gold. I like those little diamonds, sort of rough, that are making too bit shiny, like there is one in my teeth too.
Not too polished.
It's not too posh, it says something. So now our new collection is what I did with the sign from the Chinese. I like the sign and the animals of the Chinese sign. They say something to me. I'm a monkey. I don't have a monkey with me because the first thing it was just to have a monkey with me, but I don't have it today because always somebody wants it or something. Now I have a dragon and a dog. They are the latest one we made. But we started because I'm a monkey and I wanted to be a monkey.
What is a monkey in the Chinese zodiac?
I think I'm a monkey. I know how to go to one branch and then sort of cracking, I go to another one. But I always stay in my tree.
Oh, I see. So you're very busy, but you're in your own Lamy world, your Lamy land. And when you say you're interested in tribes, what is that? How do you define a tribe? Because you seem very untribe-like. You look like you don't fit into a tribe.
Oh, but you have not seen me with my tribe.
Okay, now who is your tribe?
No, I think there is this kind of, I think genes have memories, and even it's like 10 generations ago, when the Moor, the part of Jura of the family is on my father's side, that we all look like I look, and that belonged to Spain, and they had sent the Moor there. But you know, it's the same story than in Ireland with the gypsy. You know, the Irish with dark hair and blue eyes?
Yes, yes.
It's because the gypsy were there at the time, because the Irish have no melanin and they are all blonde and red face when there is a little bit of sun, when it's not open. But the part where I am, there are some other people like us that look like that. So this is some kind of tribe, and I recognize myself more in the Middle East or North Africa. You know, some people, even they talk to me in Arabic in the subway for the look, or they think I'm Madame Irma, I'm going to read their palms, what they don't think about the tribe. So this is an aesthetic that I like, and you know, Enrique is a Mextec, so there is something with the colors, and perhaps there is a way of thinking deep down, you know, that I call a tribe. But on the other side, I'm very Deleuzian, and Deleuze will always say that people find themselves, it could be only with the thought, as a tribe, and there is always some that are a little side of the tribe, but still they recognize themselves. And, you know, and I imagine if I had all this relation with Laurie, because we talk about jewelry, because we have some kind of tribe. We are not the same, but we don't think the same, but we have something, it's about aesthetic, moral, perhaps, so we understand each other. If we say this look nice, we know what nice look like.
So it's a shared aesthetic, a sympathy towards a sort of...
We understand each other. You know, there is some people with whom you have the connection to say, I saw something, it was great, and it can be a play of this, or it's a book or a show or artist, and then you think you speak the same language, or we could react against something that is... I think it's what makes the connection with people, or somebody you live with. At least you have to have the same aesthetic value. I think you can have different opinion on politics or whatever, but if you don't have the same aesthetic value, that could be broad, you know, or got into, but I think that's very important.
So your tribe could be people you've never met.
Yeah.
They could be just in your past. And if you find them in the present, it's very lucky, isn't it? When there's such a huge world, and to find them...
I'm a lot more optimistic than you. And all those years, I've found a lot.
I have the whole jewelry world, so they're my tribe.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky. Yeah, because even people I don't know, I haven't met on the Instagram community, which I really like.
Of course, it's what I'm saying. We have been very lucky to
very lucky. And they get hold of me and I talk to them and I feel like I know them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and they probably feel like they know me.
Voilà, so we speak the same language. Yeah.
And I read something that Rick wrote about you and said that you had more urgency to go barbaric in your look because you had a bourgeois background. Do you think you were fighting something?
But of course not. What he says is completely wrong. Because even if my family were this kind of people that would have been successful before and doing this, they had some kind of a gypsy look. And a look that very close to what Rick is doing right now. My father, he had always, if he was wearing corduroy pants, like it when the thread were falling apart and things. And it was not like absolutely punk or doing this. It was more like old family butler, like English, you know, this kind of thing.
Distressed,
nothing new, yeah.
But kind of chic.
Yeah, very chic, very distressed and so perhaps what I should say that pushed it even more is because I was in a boarding school since I was 9 till I was 16, so we had a uniform. So he does not know anything, this Rick Owens, of that. But even though when I was out at the boarding school, I was going crazy. We were doing a lot of skiing and everybody was already wearing those uniforms and I was putting fur, like the old fox around me, like 5 or 6. I don't think it was bourgeois family crazy.
So maybe I misread it.
No, perhaps he said that. You know, I'm going to argue tonight to think, how dare he, yeah. Okay.
Or maybe,
Well, we were
maybe
more like aristocrats. You know, my father was supposed to be a diplomat. He was speaking 7 languages, doing this, being from this background, and then he was in the resistance where my mother, where they met because end of the war they were like hiding in those mountains and trying to help people cross the border.
In the resistance.
Yeah, in the resistance. My mother, which family had a restaurant in Lyon and farms for those, was bringing them food. That's where I was born. After that, at the end of the war. And after that, they traveled a lot. I mean, they were... so then, instead of being a diplomat, because he was older so he took over the business of his father.
Right. Maybe it was against the uniform then that you wanted to create this strong...
Yeah, but I was like that. And my mother was saying, we don't know where she's get that from. I don't know. It
just came. It was just this exaggeration.
Exaggeration? No.
Well, it is quite to have fingers with rings, and when you wear your bangles, they go up to your elbow. They're big, they make a noise. It's quite exaggerated.
Yeah, I think one.
What do you think it is?
One musician band. Yeah.
And I just wonder, because the rings you do with Laurie are like armour, those knuckle dusters that you've got on could do damage. I wondered if it's about going into battle or it's about protection.
No, going to battle, I'm boxing, so I have to take them off to put the gloves.
Because you box. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's exercise. But you know what I mean? It's, I don't know that you can tell what you think. I don't know if it's protection. I think it fits. Yeah, and I like to enjoy things. Look at them, do noise with them.
You can feel them, yes.
Feel the skin. It's more sensual.
So when you got together with Rick, did you ever give each other a piece of jewellery? You didn't have an engagement ring or a wedding ring?
No, I know when he came, at the factory, I don't know, perhaps he took off his nose ring, but that was not at the time. I mean, they don't have that symbolism. We did not do the ring thing. No. They don't say that, for us, the jewelry.
No.
And anyway, I gave him some ring that, because I thought they were nice, that he put not a box, but something, because it's nice, but he does not wear a ring. No, so we don't have an engagement ring. No.
But you wouldn't give him jewellery because he wouldn't wear it.
No, but he's making his own now. Always made, it's look at everything, but I cannot wear it either. But I like it, but also to me.
And we're actually sitting here where you held the show in Paris 2 days ago, in this space that you've had for years in Paris, haven't you? But you never had a show here before.
No, we started with this building. Yes, there were showroom there. We have been doing a showroom
for the furniture.
Yeah, and there was a thing on the front, and everything moved out because it was getting too big, and it's been at the same time our house, at the same time, it's money for the furniture, and Ricardo also a studio there, but mainly, clothes and everything, it's in Italy. And then, he had been all those great shows at Palais Tokyo outside, inside. But it was a statement, and then you will already statement wanted also then to be smaller, to do something smaller, going back to the house, but he has to go also with the time we are living with. It's not the time to do those grandiose shows. It seems
out of step with what's happening in the world.
Yeah, believing in it. So that's why the show was here this time, changing the house and.
Did it feel intimate? Did it feel? Yes. Yeah. I'm sure the editors prefer it. It must have been very nice for them. Because I think when they're the huge shows, the editors are slightly irrelevant, aren't they?
No, but it's always for them. But even if we can do great parties here for like 200 people or something, dinner, when it is a show and it's public, you have to have a certain amount of people that are very small because we are only one exit. This building has only one exit in the front where you came in, and outside with the terrace going to the Minister of Defense, there is no way we can pass except if there was a fire and we will jump in. So the editor had to be cut in half. So I don't think
they were too happy.
I know I'm sure people were not happy with you know.
Well, I'm sure it gave it a very special atmosphere.
This is something different, and there are so many. But it had a good feeling, The next show is going to be here, what is for the women, in a month. But after that, we don't know what we would want to do. But it was also a person that wanted to come back to the house, and they concentrate on the clothes and our aesthetic and not doing brouhaha or smoke and
all the bits that aren't about the clothes.
Yeah.
But I suppose, with your shared aesthetic and working together and collaborating, creating jewellery is so different to the fashion, isn't it? Because you are making something to last and that won't be seasonal. Yeah,
that's a good question. Because in a way, even if the clothes they are continuing their spirit, It's not like we are a big house that there's a new designer every season and then you go from one to the next. So it's a continuation. And it is sort of to last in the different version. But of course, it's, you always want a new. I want to add to this, but I would never think about doing things is irrelevant now. We have to make something new. But I like the thing, so things could evolve.
Yes.
Like we put those animals on it, but that's it.
But
this is a signature. This is a
not something just because I have to do a new collection.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. But it's more like the furniture. It's very related that I'm in charge of the furniture, and also we do jewelry. They are some of our world, and Ricky always say the furniture is our couture, thing, and this is it's playing around. The tribe turning around the furniture.
And when you travel a lot, what do you see anything that's happening for the future in self-adornment? Anywhere, like in Venice where you live or in LA, do you think people are doing it in a different way? Self-adornment and thinking, God, that might be the future?
I've not seen this in the jewelry, and what you say, I see a lot of the same thing, but the same people continuing. Yeah, it's interesting to see that it stays sort of old, but they have been big time, when people start having the piercing, and the nose ring, and it was that had been some change, but you don't call this jewelry, but I do.
I do.
You do.
I do. Do you think maybe it'll come through the music scene, like you were talking about rappers, and they really changed the way people perceived diamonds and how they were wearing metal? Do you think it'll come through the music scene, maybe something new?
Yeah, it came big time already. That's why I don't think it's coming. I did not see coming. I saw coming. I saw happening. I saw there. And I thought, like my teeth, is why they all recognize me like a pioneer, and from the grills and everything. And I love the huge thing. Of course, this is the big. This is what happened at our time. This is the jewelry at the time that makes such a big change.
Yes.
Because it's like two worlds, but I don't see it mix things so much. I mean, except on something, but I admire the most. It's that look, I think, is fantastic. Like the music too.
It would be too refined for you around the Place Vendôme.
Yeah.
You like it a bit rougher. And tell me, future collaborations. You've got a show coming up at Carpenter's Workshop in London and you have one in LA, and this is for Hunrod Gold.
Yeah, what is Hunrod Gold? So that has changed. They are doing a show with the other designer. They started doing jewelry, what I thought, and started with me, loving. It's they are their main gallery with the furniture and doing installation. Did a great building.
Installation with your furniture and jewelry.
They don't mix in a way, in the way they said it, but in the head of everybody, it's when they go there, they know they can find both. Yeah.
So that's coming up. Anything else that you're working on that we should know about?
Well, you are talking about the jewelry.
Or anything.
No, because the thing, like he's doing some. We're doing with Carpenter, doing an installation in Dubai pretty soon, and then in Dubai, it was sort of curating with our furniture and some artists from there. And just lately, the galleries over there, they asked me to come with my band, and it's what I'm working on it, and we are going to sing, and it's, and I'm singing Etel Adnan words, and it's perfect for our time. Everything I have to say, I always say through poets.
Right.
And using those words, so yeah, that's the next thing.
Do you write the poems yourself?
No, I told you, I'm poet, using their words as a dictionary, meaning I pick some word and doing this, but I always think there is poet that say it better than me, or is what give me the story that belong also to my story, so then I'm using it.
And when you think about designing, do you sit down and draw something, or you just imagine it and talk to the artisans?
Oh yeah, I don't draw anything.
No, you talk it.
It's like, I started with a bracelet, and then you break some part, and then something go, because we were doing some vases in bronze, and then I think the bronze can do. I'm with the material.
So you think,
and then it's more. It's at Lori that before I had some wax made or something, but with a drawing, it does not think to me. I did not thought, oh my God, we are going to do a drawing like this. After that, you can make a drawing. If I said, oh yeah, I want this one, I want that, and that. No, it starts always with a piece.
Right. And then you work.
And then you do it with a piece of fabric and say, well, I should have a knot here. But I'm not the artisan.
No.
Neither the drawer.
No, you're the explainer, the imagination.
But I always take from something that exists and want to change.
I think when I talk about jewelry, and when a lot of other people do, they think about emotion and memory in the piece that they have. Often it's given as gifts, or it marks a time in their life. So I wonder with you, maybe it's more about a memory of the past, and who you might, if you admire the ancient Egyptians and the Greeks, which would you have wanted if you could spirit back? Would you go back to ancient Greece, ancient Rome,
ancient Egypt? No, we go to, yeah.
You'd get that.
Yeah.
And some women have power then too, didn't they?
Exactly, at least. Yeah.
And what would you have worn?
It was funny, the other day I was with Sophie Calle, and then she had a ring from Egypt, but I don't know which time, in which there was a little dick. And she told me for power, the Egyptian men were wearing little dick around their neck.
A little phallus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you will say the right word.
No, you can say dick. I just wanted to make sure people had little phallus.
Yeah.
I know, isn't that weird? And they used to put it on children too.
Yeah, but it was what is super great. So after that, the next time we went there, I was asking all those people if they were, not souvenir or what places if they had. I wanted to find some. Anyway, I just found this statue that had a huge kind of, I think, but I did not find that delicate thing. Yeah, they were putting, there's a story so good. That was so. I think those stories are interesting. Then you are interested to have this because it meant something, and now we are so silly that to think the Egyptian places they hide it. You know, you have to ask, and then but it just like the children cannot see it or whatever.
So you'd go back to that time. And lastly, Michèle, I wondered if there is a favourite place that you have that you like to go and view jewellery, like in a gallery or a museum, and if there's a favourite place you look to go and buy pieces, whether that's a sort of flea market or a store.
Really now, you know, I've been seeing things for all those years or whatever, but I always look at old jewellery for some reason.
Old?
Yeah. Like things, so it could be a flea market or a special place. Just in our street up here, there is Naila de Montbrison.
The gallery.
The gallery.
It was amazing. And
she's amazing. So she's the one I would look when she do the gallery. Usually she has a new artist. In fact, it's where I got those. They have a bracelet. But for this artist, I don't remember the name right now, but she had...
Contemporary artists, yes.
Yeah, she does this. But she has a collection of Tibetan jewellery that you have to beg to see.
Okay, I will go and beg.
Yeah, that she has at home. Yeah.
Okay, and which museum would you go and look at? If you're travelling, is there one museum that you really like?
Oh, no, I always go to where there is a show, where there is a gallery, where there are things. But that is not what I'm looking for, the jewellery and in museum. I don't, you know, but if there was a special Inca show, I would very look at the jewellery. I always have to go with the story. You know, if there is a big artist, so there's some jewellery, I look for it. But I won't go in a museum just for jewellery. No. But there is always something I want to see. So then if there is jewellery, I say, oh my God.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us and telling us about what you're wearing today, Michèle. Thank you.
Thank you too. And it was so nice to meet you. And now we have a story going on.
We've got a jewellery story.
Okay,
we're all at the same tribe. We're the same tribe now, Michèle.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. For this and other episodes of If Jewels Could Talk, please go to our website, carolwoolton.com/podcasts. And don't forget our new YouTube channel, where we'll have some films and stories and pictures up. And join me again in 2 weeks for the next Jeweled Nugget. We had the BAFTAs this week, and ahead of the Academy Awards, we're going to have a couple of special episodes looking at Hollywood and jewels, and how much Hollywood loves diamonds. More than any film role, husband, lover, or studio mogul, it's jewellery that's played a permanent starring role in many lives in Hollywood. So please join me in 2 weeks, and thank you for your company. Bye-bye. If Jewels Could Talk with Carol Woolton is produced by Natasha Cowan, music and editing by Tim Thornton, graphics by Scott Bentley, illustration by Jordi Labanda. You can find our sponsors at fullygemstones.com and me at carolwoolton.com.